Hey everybody, Kyle Sasser here, and today I want to talk about a common myth, one that personally I think needs to die a little bit, and definitely see this all throughout the Instagram motivator community. A lot of quotes and all that stuff, and that is the fact that persistence is the key to success. And anyone who is basically taken a breath will know that that is not the case, because if persistence was the key to success, then everyone would probably have success already. Everyone would have infinite wealth, infinite love, because all we're doing is persisting in one way or the other. Now, so the more important part is actually persisting in goals that are important for you, that provide value to other people. That is where the success comes from. You can absolutely be focusing on the entirely wrong stuff, both for your customers. Maybe your customers aren't interested in what you're offering, or you could just be persisting on something that is not your strong suit. Like if you don't know how to program, let's say, and you are trying to persist through programming a mobile app, yeah, it's probably going to be a very long road, very difficult, and you would be much better served by just paying someone or partnering with somebody to have that made. The reason this came up for me today, a friend of mine actually sent me a message. He's been struggling a little bit trying to write this newsletter. And, newsletter is multiple articles, pages of high value, high impact stuff. It's a great idea. You could also tie it in with blog posts and stuff like that, multi-purposing that content into multiple avenues. Very, very easy to do. The problem is assembling a newsletter is a very large task. It sounds simple because it's only, like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages. But to write 4, 5, 6, 7 articles, it takes a lot of work, takes a lot of hours. And he was just having a struggle getting it done. And, this has been kind of a months-long thing going on that has been continuing to give him a problem. So he finally reached out. He was like, hey, I'm struggling here. I know that you've talked about hiring virtual assistants before. I think I'm ready to hire a virtual assistant to help me write this newsletter. I was like, great. Think about this the right way. It's perfect. Outsourcing. It's your strong suit. His business is in accounting, and he's a good writer and a speaker as well. But his strong suit is in accounting. That's where his value comes from, and that he provides to people is in the accounting, not in the writing. So great that he's looking to outsource that and to, basically augment that value. My suggestion though was to not focus solely on a newsletter for multiple reasons. One, newsletter is a pretty big time investment to get people to read it. Something shows up with 5 or 6 pages in it, most people are going to give it a quick glance and then throw it in the trash. If it shows up in email, that might even be worse, because then they probably have to open another attachment or click links to read blog posts. And yeah, that's asking a lot. So my suggestion was, instead of focusing on the newsletter first, just focus on writing a article a week, put it in an email, and send it out to everybody. That's going to do a few things. One, it's going to break it down into more manageable pieces, in that you're not having to assemble and create this whole beautiful, newsletter with high polish and all this stuff. You can get the articles written, which is the hard part. Get the articles written, you send those out to people, and you can actually see what their reaction is, if they like that particular article, if they don't. And then you can actually kind of tailor the content further down the road, because okay, these people responded very well to this content, this story, and I'm going to write more of that. But here's the brilliant part. You've already written the articles, so literally all you have to do is assemble them together into a newsletter at the end of the month, and then send that out to everybody and just put it in a digest. If you would rather reverse that, you can do it the other way. You can just have somebody write 5 articles, send them out in individual emails, and then package it up as a digest email. So you can package that up as a digest email or newsletter, send that out, and then trickle out the emails, because I guarantee everyone is not going to read the newsletter and then be very irritated that you're following up with those articles. And you can even mention it in the email. Just be like, hey, this is an article from our newsletter. Here you go. Also, as an added bonus, you can tie that into your social media marketing with images and stuff like that. It's just a much better thing. Because the problem is when you have a big project like that, a lot of times you get stuck on that big project, and it can become a lot more difficult than you were anticipating, and then it never gets done because you're just spinning your wheels. So winners don't persist. Winners quit and pivot to figure out what works best for them. There's no sense in sticking to a plan that is not working for you and your business. It's silly. Now, once you find something that works, absolutely persist on that. But to actually find that thing that is working for you, it's silly to persist on something that you're struggling with, that you're not going to be able to complete. That is because basically it has taken weeks for him to get to that point. And during that time, he could have been reaching out to those customers and sending them emails with these little snippets and articles and nuggets of information, and keeping himself top of mind and reminding them, versus just one solid email a month with a admittedly a very high quality newsletter. But currently most marketing is leading more towards saturation than highly polished perfect content, because just people don't have time to sit and read that stuff anymore. And the other thing I always like to use is, how many times, like, you don't just see one perfect Coca-Cola ad, you see Coca-Cola ads everywhere. So saturation, very, very, very important. So don't persist in something that you're failing at or that you're struggling with. If you're making improvements and you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, then absolutely stick with it, see where it goes, maybe change a few things along the way, but don't be afraid to abandon something that is just not working for you, that you're struggling with, and that is not speaking to you on a personal or professional level. Like, if you don't love it, there's no sense in continuing to do it. At least yourself. I mean, you can, if you have the funds, you can always pay somebody to do it, but yeah. So stick to itiveness, pretty overrated. Find something the more important thing is to find something that works for you and your business processes and fits into your systems, and then leverage the hell out of that. So anyway, my name is Kyle Sasser. This is BizTweaks. BizTweaks is your business toolbox. Why is it called BizTweaks? Because honestly, most small and medium-sized businesses, they don't really need a big reworking or reimagining. They just need a little tap on the side to get things aligned properly and to really accelerate your success. So also come through in a podcast form if you'd rather listen to this while you're jogging or doing whatever. So you can hit that at Apple iTunes or Spotify or any of that good stuff. We're also on a YouTube channel, and visit the BizTweaks website. That's BizTweaks.com. I'm Kyle Sasser. Thanks for tuning in. Keep those questions coming. I definitely love answering them and helping people out. So talk to you soon.